And I'm actually as soon as it comes up. And here we are live on YouTube. And Rev Wayne Stills, good afternoon. This mic is all yours.
Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Wayne Stills from Miracles Everywhere. It's good to be here. I'm happy to be here, of course. And it's Monday at 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock my time, and my time is my and I say my time is 3 o'clock Eastern, Midwestern time. So what's happening? We're glad to see everyone. A nice crowd here we got tonight. I'm gonna play one song which I kind of like. It's called uh what's the name of it actually? It's called "Stacking Up the Rocks." And it's by Balsam Range, or it's Balsam. So it's a Balsam Range, and it's an acapella song, and I kind of like it. It's kind of nice, and I think you like it. We'll see.
Stacking up the rocks at the edge of the water, memorial of the miracles he gave to thee, that all the people of the earth might remember that the hand of the Lord's mighty.
God told Joshua to lead his people as I was with Moses, I will be with thee. I will never leave or forsake you, but set the people free. Joshua spoke unto his people, said, sanctify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you, and you will surely be blessed.
Stacking up the rocks at the edge of the water, memorial of the miracles he gave to thee, that all the people of the earth might remember that the hand of the Lord's mighty.
Priests carrying the ark of the covenant to the raging Jordan side. Brave and courageous, they stepped in the water, and God worked before their eyes. The water stopped flowing, the riverbed dry, they all crossed to the other side. 12 men back to the middle of the river, carrying rocks to remember by.
Stacking up the rocks at the edge of the water, memorial of the miracles he gave to thee, that all the people of the earth might remember that the hand of the Lord's mighty.
God's still with us in this world of trouble, gives miracles every day. Has he worked in your life, brother? Have you shown it in some way?
Well, are you stacking up the rocks at the edge of the water, memorial of the miracles he gave to thee, that all the people of the earth might remember that the hand of the Lord's mighty.
Hallelujah.
Stacking up the rocks at the edge of the water, memorial of the miracles he gave to thee, that all the people of the earth might remember that the hand of the Lord's mighty. So that all the people of the earth might remember that the hand of the Lord is mighty.
All right, I like that song a lot. That's kind of cool. It's Balsam Range. Stacking the rocks, stacking up the rocks. All righty, so I'm ready to rock and roll. Then, whenever you are.
All right. So I am ready to rock and roll as well.
Okay,
Been
good.
stacking up my rocks.
Good. That's good,
That's an
right?
interesting song. Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay. So,
Then we're starting from so.
yep, from so.
Okay. Okay. All right. You want to start?
Sure.
All
All right.
Yeah, I'll like that tune too. She's done the tune. Cool.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you want me to read? I will.
All right.
Okay. So through your mistakes and troubles and sufferings, desire for relief caused the idea of evil to spring up in your mind. And likewise, when these troubles were not, it inspired the idea of good. Well, isn't that just a simple thing, right?
Well, yes, these troubles were not inspired by the idea of good, right? Evil,
Yep.
then likewise, so through your mistakes and troubles and sufferings, Desire for relief caused the idea of evil. Oh, yeah, desire for relief was the problem. Desire for relief. I think we read this already, actually. I remember talking about that I was kind of surprised that it was a desire for relief.
Oh, okay. Well, then
That
we're
they cause
somewhere on
the
this
yeah
page. So,
they cause the idea of evil. We read it again, it's okay, you know.
right.
But
And
it's
it also made me think of that was when Zelma was on this morning, and she was talking about something quite similar. Is that we blame evil for the things that we consider bad happening to us, and we say God is good when things happen to us that we think are good. But the fact is that all things are neutral, so there really isn't a good or bad of anything.
right.
And what happens is that we start thinking, well, I mean, it's just so simple. If you knew the whole story, if you knew everything, you would see that, it's just an intertwining of story, but there's nothing good or evil, and it's all of God. It's all the same thing. So,
Well, if you look at it from the way he tells the story with the Garden of Eden, if you look at it, there really is no good or evil at all. There should be no story, really.
right,
I mean, he ate from the tree that really, I mean, I was thinking about how the idea that he drives us out of the garden, that's us driving ourselves out of the garden. We drove ourselves out of the garden from the higher level, from the highest level. And so here we are driving ourselves out of the garden. And then we desire, and so here we're creating this whole reality for ourselves from scratch. And then at the same time, while we're creating it, we're going against it.
right.
And that's why we're also crazy.
Well,
Because
and
we
why?
make a
Because
reality, I'm making a reality, and at the same time, I don't want the reality. And so all we do is we get into this juggernaut.
yeah. Because no matter how we create it, we know, however we're making it, we know that it's not God. It's something
It's,
I made.
it's not really there. We
It's
know
not good
that.
enough.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, and then the only thing we can do, we can't really do this, but the only thing we should do, so to speak, is stop creating,
Yeah,
stop making stuff up. But this whole reality is just made up. So that's our problem. We keep making stuff up, making stuff up. And as you're making up a dream, as you're believing in a dream, I mean, you're believing a dream into existence, and at the same time you're trying to believe it out of existence, then your dream is one of confusion. So that's the dream that you're dreaming up. You're dreaming up a crazy dream.
yes. And it really is crazy.
I'm going to walk forward and backwards at the same time. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
impossible.
yeah. It is. So that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to continue reading.
Okay.
To all appearances of things and conditions, you attributed these qualities of good or evil, according to whether or not they satisfy desire, my agent, in reality, my human self, or you in your human personality. So he's saying we're calling it good or evil based on whether it satisfies us, whether we
Right.
like it or not.
Right.
Yeah. So and so and that's because
But
we're all different. I mean, I like to put uh I I have these drinks that I drink like Kool-Aid kind of stuff, and I like to put vinegar in it.
right.
Apple cider vinegar.
Oh yeah.
All right,
So,
my husband tastes that and his face just goes crazy like
yeah.
what?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
well, that's it. What I considered good, he considers evil, and it's not either one. It's just
Well, that's the thing. Is
juice
good
and
and
vinegar.
evil is where I'm making. There's no actual good or evil behind it.
Right.
Not as if there's good and evil and there's an actual good or evil behind it. It's a product of the desires that we, meaning God on the highest level, put into effect in our story. The dreamer put into effect. Us on the highest level, Son of God, so to speak, on the highest level. So put into effect he individualized himself. I
Yeah.
mean, the shattering or the turning the fragmenting of himself. He does this, which is sort of individualization. helping stuff, and everyone has their own way of his or her own journey. And your journey happens to have vinegar in your drink, and that's fine. Unfortunately, everyone has their own diet, has their own food they eat, and that's why it's very difficult to think. The only way to think collectively, really, is to think in terms of your personal desires and try to work with those, but do it for the whole. But not try to think of helping others directly, really. You can't, we don't know anybody else besides the people we know and ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
exactly.
yeah, so you can't really get helping the whole. You don't know the whole. But you can try to help yourself for the purpose of helping the whole. So you kind of like what we do here. We're doing this for the purpose of helping others, but we're doing it for ourselves. We're teaching ourselves for the purpose of helping others. For the purpose of being helpful. We're trying to be helpful. Everyone wants to be helpful. That's what they all want to be helpful. But at the same time, we're being helpful. And how are we helpful? By teaching what we want to learn.
Exactly. And that's the only reason I do this.
Exactly. So
If
that's
I didn't want to learn it, I would be doing something else.
give viewers if you want one, right? I'll just give viewers if you the same thing. And so the best way to handle that is to give. But when you give, you'll always have. You gotta receive to give. You just receive. The key is to keep your mind on the goal of giving. So whether you receive, whatever you receive, wherever you receive it, you know it's going to be given out to somebody or somewhere, somehow, to the whole.
Right. And that's remembering our connection to the whole.
Exactly. But so the specifics of how that's going to get done, there's no way you can know because there's so many individuals out there with their own little journeys. You have to let each person do their own thing and let it filter out from the individual outwards. So that you make your own life up. It's not gonna be, that's why you have no idea what your life is really going to be like. Because you have no idea how it fits into the whole.
No, you don't, and you can't.
No.
Or else if you knew, then you wouldn't be confused about it and you would be home.
Yeah, and you exactly, you wouldn't be in this dimension of time and space. You might not even be in time and space. If you knew the whole from the whole perspective,
Right.
You'd be a different type of animal.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that claim they know these things, but
Of course, but who knows? I'm not going to doubt that completely, but I'm not going to put my total faith in it. It's like I say, the people say that miraculous things happen, but most of the time that's in the past. Usually that's things that happened a long time ago. That really miraculous ones. Sometimes you hear people say it, yeah, those are all anecdotal, so you never know for sure.
right,
And,
you don't even know your own memory.
no, not at all. I think I remember something totally, and I talked to the person who was there, and they have the exact opposite story.
Absolutely.
And then I'm convinced I'm right, and then they go, "No, you're ridiculous. That's not the way it happened. It happened this way." Really?
I know, it's crazy.
And then I still walk away thinking they're wrong. I was like, "He's an idiot, that guy." And then I said, "Well, maybe he's not." No, looking, it's one of those things where you have to just kind of give it up on faith almost. Your mind isn't totally take for granted that person's right. So you just have to take it on faith. Most likely, it's and the father used to always say that my side is your side, and it's somewhere in the middle is the truth.
Exactly. And we don't know. There's no way for we might even be in different universes. Like,
yeah.
the multiverse, we might be in completely different universes and experiencing something completely different and think that we're in the same having the same experience and have a whole different story because of that. Cindy has her hand up.
I'll be back, okay?
See, go ahead.
Thank you.
Right now.
I just read
I'll be
and
back.
it actually, oh, I'm sorry.
No, Douglas, he has his
Let it go out.
Oh, here. Let me mute that mic.
I'm sorry.
That's
Okay.
all right. It's not your fault.
Oh no, what did I do? Okay,
You didn't do anything, just somebody
I
else.
know, I'm kidding. I'm actually
Okay.
joking this time. This
Don't
time.
blame yourself. You didn't.
I know. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, but eventually I will get there. So I just was reading chapter 21 or 22, 23, I forget, but he was explaining that we, we are like a baby. Just now that I'm looking towards the Holy Spirit and towards God, it's all new to me because I've turned my back on. I think it's about the stranger within or something like that. Anyway, so we have to be taught. We don't know what anything is for. I don't know what anything is for, and I have to be taught. And I'm okay with that. Believe it or not, I'm like, okay, I can accept, that I am, starting a new life, like being born again, and I need to be taught. So that's kind of my point anyway. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Cindy.
Absolutely. I just
Yeah.
posted this on the Facebook, which said that it's from psychotherapy, and it said, if I remember it, it said that without this one, you both of you would stumble to nowhere. I think that's the quote. He's talking about the patient and the psychotherapist. Without God, basically, without the Holy One, the both patient and psychotherapist are both in the relationship. Without the Holy Spirit, they go nowhere. They stumble. So everyone's being taught.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
if they're not open to it, they're just be limping their way into the next life if they're lucky.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
I always, we keep thinking about that movie, Dark City. I keep thinking
Oh
about that.
yeah, that's
Oh,
great.
That's how it is.
wow,
Go ahead,
I
Cindy.
watched that. Wow.
Oh, that Dark City?
Dark City.
Yeah, that with
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I don't know if I liked it that much,
Uh,
but I'm very visual. I'm very visual though.
It was one of those movies you really have to see it. Maybe see it again, maybe. I liked it immediately, but a lot of people weren't sure they liked it. They thought it was kind of weird. It's a cult classic, though. That's what it is. It's one of those movies that,
Yeah.
but I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was right on. I thought it really hit the Life of Course Miracles notes.
Exactly, because
Yeah,
I mean, it was dark, that's for sure. But the
yeah.
whole thing being that, they were being interchanged, while they were sleeping, they wake up the next morning and they're a housewife or they're,
They were wealthy. They were poor one moment.
they
The
were
next day they
poor
wake
when
up
they, yeah.
with a huge palace suddenly they were in.
Huh.
And they had no idea, no memory of it at all. And they were
Yeah.
experimenting, trying to find the human heart, the
And
soul,
I
human
see
soul.
it that way. I think that
Yeah.
it's right on.
And I also thought it was really cool the way, who was it said, you notice it's never daytime here?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's always night.
it's always nice.
So there's always dark. And also the weirdest thing was when William Hurt says, I don't remember who gave me that. Remember he said that? I don't remember who gave me that gift. I think it might have been my mother, but I don't remember. What's going
And then the
on?
guy that said everything just goes round and round and round and round.
Yeah,
And he was the only one who had a clue, really, what was
yeah.
going on.
And he says, what's going on here? It was like, why don't I remember these things? I don't remember anything anymore. And it reminded me how I feel a lot.
Mhm.
I say, I don't remember half the stuff that happened to me as a kid. I mean, obviously, many of us don't remember, but as you get older, you remember it's worse. But so you feel like maybe, how do I know? How do I know how do I know it even happened?
Right.
When I was at inception, I wasn't sure what the hell was going on.
Exactly.
I was like, how do I know? I mean, I've seen some pictures of me. My parents told me today, but what do they know?
Right. And how do I know that that's me? I mean,
Exactly.
that's a little kid.
Yeah.
I
It was
could be
totally different to
anybody.
me. And no resemblance.
I don't remember any of this. Yeah.
No, I don't know that. All I know is I don't remember it. I have no memory in my mind. I've seen pictures and I was told.
And
But
that's where
isn't
most
that
of our memories come from. What's that, Cindy?
what he was kind of talking about? What I forget what chapter about the stranger that we that we accept as in our home. That
Uh-huh.
that section. that really hit me, how I am listening to my thoughts are just, and I'm listening to these thoughts that are not my true self, that are not me. I'm getting that now. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of excited because
It's exciting.
No, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, things are clicking. Yeah, and I went. I'm sorry, but I went. I really started thinking about it. How I and then the other one was the special. How he talks about you are not special. Oh my goodness, I really went into some deep thinking about that. How I've tried to destroy people. Really, that was my true deep down intent, not realizing it, but in my judgments and my meanness and stuff like that. And I'm glad I really examined that, because I saw, that I was, really, yeah, just, whatever, the stranger. I was that stranger that, what that I was believing in, that hate, in that awfulness. I was only listening to that for so long, and now I realize that that's not. It's showing me that that's not really even me, and he said, when you discover something, that's not good, then you turn around and go the other way or direction. Anyway, I'm sorry, you guys. I'll let you guys go, but
That's okay, honey,
That's
because
fine.
I
know,
love
No
that.
problem. No
yeah,
problem.
I'm just um yeah, it's exciting when I'm learning something new, and I've read that chapter many times, but I guess I'm ready to hear it. And anyway, I'll stop.
Thank you, Cindy. I
I
appreciate
know.
it.
No,
Yeah,
you're absolutely right too. I mean, it's totally like, when you're sick, it's a good revelation too, because you realize that I realize that I'm not sick. The part of me that's sick
Yeah,
is not me.
yeah,
The part of me that's sick is not who I am. The part of me that, not only that, but the part of me that thinks he's sick. But when I say things in my mind like, "Oh, I don't feel well," that's not me saying that.
right.
That's another part of me that's a stranger. That's part of me that I don't, that,
yeah,
that's part that I have no clue who that person is. Then I can begin to almost disassociate from that part of myself and get into connection with the true part of myself.
Wow.
yeah. That
And
that chapter is really, uh, uh, I think, very, very on point with so many of us that don't want to. For me, I didn't want to look at that ugliness in me, or that stranger within me that was that ugly and that cruel and wanted people to die, and denying that that's really what my deepest thought was, when I would go against family members or whoever.
City, there's no one
Yeah,
there. That's the key. There's no one there. That's what I learned.
yeah,
The
yeah,
stranger is not
right,
even there, really. The stranger is your dream body. It's the
right,
dream part of yourself. So once you realize that the stranger is the illusion, and what's left after the illusion goes is the real you, is the real me. So the
yeah,
stranger is this pretend being
yeah.
that is
But
saying
we
a bunch of
believe in it,
lies.
or we
Oh
did. Yeah,
yeah, that's the main thing.
And but
yeah,
you can know that because you can see it. If it was you, you wouldn't be able to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
But you see it like because it's outside of you.
You leave the hand outside of yourself and say, "Oh, there's the stranger, right there."
but then it goes, but you invited him in, you welcomed him into your home that was established, with God or whatever. You did this to yourself, and then and the two can't coexist, right? Like fear and love, it can't coexist. And so you come to a point, and it's just what I was doing. That it's out of necessity that I have to make a choice. It's not
Oh,
even
good.
it's not even, I can't even claim credit for that. It's like, I am so miserable. I'm not happy here. I'm not happy there. I have to make a choice. I have to make a
Absolutely.
decision. Who am I going to turn to? So, yeah. And then it says, you can't help yourself, but this is where the miracle comes in, and it will gently, like he says, and it will gently take you along, and progress slowly, and will be with you the whole way through. So I'm getting all that. I'm really excited. I'm not hard on myself anymore like I was.
Beautiful. Thank you,
Good. It's good.
Cindy. Auntie has her hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I know. I got to stop doing
Why
that.
are you sorry? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know why. It's an old habit.
Cindy, are you from Canada? Because That's where all the sorries are supposed to come from, the Canadians. They
All the
always
what?
say sorry,
Sorry.
sorry,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, I know. I won't say. Yeah, it's an
No.
old habits die hard.
Oh yeah,
But
I
like
know.
the beauty
Yeah.
is like I'm being released from all that, and it's a process, and it's going to be gentle, and I'm willing. I'm done. I'm done with what the fear. I'm just done. It's just there's no attraction for me right now towards it. I've forgiven myself.
So awesome. Love that.
Awesome. So did you have something else, Ozzy?
Yes, I
Oh,
actually was gonna um I'm not sure what I was gonna mention. But I love what you guys are talking about here, and Cindy, I love your excitement. When you're talking about that whole like the stranger and then and then that's not even you, because that makes me feel less crazy when I'm having these conversations with all these different quote unquote people, and I know none of them are there, except I think one's there, and it's just so diabolically awesomely insane. But it also made me think of that movie, The Revolver, at the very end when Jake gets out of the elevator and just walks past that dude. And I just got shivers because I realized too, holy crap, like it was just that moment that he became empowered, like you're saying, Cindy. Vigilance for God. I've been hearing that. Where's your vigilance for God? Like uh, the 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 quiet, the service, and it's just been coming in more and more different ways of just trying to show up and help out, and just when things just flow, um, then I know it's okay. And if there's chitter chatter going on, just whatever, chitter chatter. But if I'm feeling any angst at all, I just know, I know, like just wait, just
I'm
be
really
here.
I'm really noticing my angst now and catching it. And you make me think of that. It's a beautiful mind. Remember at the end of the movie,
Yeah.
those guys are talking to him, but he knew what it was, and he just accepted it.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
same thing, huh?
Yeah, I think of that often. That scene comes to mind often. So thank you, Cindy. I love it. Okay, sorry guys, we're
Yeah.
into the sorry, Rev Wayne, and
Yeah, all these sorries coming at us for what?
Sorry, you must speak for
sorry.
Canada.
Oh shit.
Okay,
Sherpa.
stuff your sorries in a sack.
What's your mouth with Sherpa?
I said shippa.
Oh, Sherpa.
All right, you want me to keep reading here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so all these conditions and experiences in life which you entered into, and which, when pleasing, deemed good, and when displeasing, seemed evil, were merely incidents created by desire to quicken in you certain soul faculties. Is that faculties? Yeah. Which would enable you to recognize the truths that I, within, wished at the time to impress upon your consciousness. The apparent evil was the negative aspect of the fruit of the tree, which always lured you on by its fair appearance and by the sweetness of the first taste to eat and enjoy to satiation, or until its harmful effects manifested and became a curse, bringing final disillusionment, which served to turn or force you back in humiliation to me, your true self, who through the new consciousness thus aroused was then enabled to extract the essence of the fruit and incorporate it into soul substance and tissue. Okay, wow. So this is kind of a long thing, and do you want to give it a whack there,
Sure.
Wayne? I would
All
like
these
to hear what
conditions
you.
of all of these
Yeah.
conditions and experiences in life which you were entered into, and which were pleasing seemed good, and when displeasing seemed evil. We know that, or that's just our desires are there. what we desire, what we think is good is good. What we think is bad is evil. Totally from our thoughts. So we're creating good and evil for ourselves. We're merely incidents created by desire to quicken in your certain soul faculties. So this is all of these negativity and positivity are there to quicken, to inspire soul faculties. Capital S. So this is there to inspire us to something greater, to something better. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, yes.
Because it says here the good and the evil. It's pleasing our desires for good and evil, and that which creates the good and evil, or what we consider good and evil, is what leads towards the quickening of certain soul faculties. And that's what a capital S. So our full divine faculties, which would enable us to recognize the truths that capital I, well, obviously capital I, within wished at the time to impress upon your consciousness. So our desires, whether it's good or for bad, let them be.
Right.
Is that right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm just seeing, it's like, if you have a sweet tooth and you like to eat chocolate, and then somebody brings you a 20-pound box of chocolates, and you love that, and you delve into it and you start eating chocolate. Well, after a while,
Yeah, it's a little too much. You get
this is
sick.
not what I want. It's like the prodigal son,
Yeah, and now you've learned something. Now you're in a sense you learned divine law. You've learned a little bit more about yourself and about who you are, and then now somebody comes in, you won't eat as much.
Right.
So the apparent evil was a negative aspect of the fruit of the tree, which always lured you by its fair appearance and by the sweetness, chocolate, of the taste to eat and enjoy its satiation, or until its harmful effects manifested and became a curse, bringing final disillusionment, which served to turn or force you back in humiliation to me, your true self. So all this is either going to lead, in one way or another, is going to lead you back. Everything is going to lead you back to your true self.
Yes.
Whether you go the negative way, the hard way, as I say, the hard way or the easy way. I mean, obviously the positive way is more fun for us, and the negative way is harder for us. I mean, if you can let go of it's a kind of, I think I talked to Regis about this once, which is about letting go of the coin in its entirety. Letting go of the heads and the tails.
Yeah. Yes.
Because none of us have. You can't have heads without tails. Obviously, you can have tail without heads. So really, they're the same thing, and you can't have one without the other. So you have to throw out the positive and the negative, from our point of view, and then you have the true positive without anything opposite.
Yeah, and that's what they call it, positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is that you do get what you do want, and negative reinforcement is that you don't get what you don't want. And so
That's cool. I like that. That's cool.
And unfortunately, and we've learned this. I mean, I used to work in health and safety for companies, the government and other big companies, and you could just tell people be safe all day, and we'll give you a nice jacket, or we'll give you a $10 $50 gift certificate at the end of the month, or whatever. You could tell them all those kind of things, and people would be like, oh, that's nice, but that doesn't reinforce in them anything as much as if you're not safe, you're going to be in trouble. If you're not safe, you're going to get hurt.
Right, exactly.
You really, negative reinforcement is the best way
Absolutely,
to get people to do what you want them to do, because they don't want to get what they don't want.
See, so you would say that. So you would say to them, like, don't. How would you say if my kid goes out to drive home? I always say, be safe.
Yeah.
Well, so what do you think I should say? Don't get into. How would I say it?
Right.
How would I say it? How would I say it?
Yeah. Be safe, or don't come home to me in a coffin. You know, Don't make me come and identify your body at the morgue. How about
All
that?
right,
So-
all right. And that's a very low, that's a low measure, a low bar, I guess, but that'll work. Yeah, I guess she can handle that. That's cool. So it's a
Yeah,
negative reinforcement. So she would never. She was just too vague. That's very specific,
yeah,
and
yeah,
she knows what she knows what I mean.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so she can, in a sense, she can take it literally in context, and she knows what I mean. She won't actually think I mean that. She'll know I mean be safe.
yeah. She'll know you mean be safe,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it does
but it's
put a
the
different
worst.
picture in their mind.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's why when they had driving classes, and I don't know if you did in high school driving classes, and the first thing they do is show you a movie about kids that drank, drove, got in accidents, and were mangled in vehicles. And I mean, it was horrific. They showed us horrific things. And
Mhm.
the reason being, we don't want this to happen to you.
Right.
And, I still remember that stuff, it hit me a lot harder than them saying be nice on the road and
Well,
drive
I used to the other
and
way. I used to the other way. I used to go drive, but as a joke to my brother when he used to get when we were younger. We used to go drive fast, take chances.
there you go,
Yeah, that's
drive.
what we- And they're like, okay, thank you. All right, see you tomorrow. So that's what we used to say. That was my way of sort of. I guess that's sort of like negative reinforcement because they remind him to go slower. He's not going to take my too literally. But so yeah, that's cool. I'll try that. I'll try to think of that. Sort of like when people say the golden rule. There's two ways for the golden rule. That you could say, don't do to others that you wouldn't do unto others that you want them to do unto you. That's the normal positive way of saying it. Or you can say that which is hateful unto yourself, don't do unto others.
Yeah,
So there's two ways of saying it. And some people like the negative way because it's easier to know what's hateful unto yourself
yes,
than to think about what's good for you and others. You can say, I don't want to be, I hate being yelled at, so I won't yell at him or her. You know what I mean? It's easier to know what you hate, and so you don't do that to somebody else. So usually it is. That's why the news is always filled with bad news. Everyone tends to agree on what's bad more than what's good.
yes,
You know,
yes,
so at least if we do quicker, the ego seems to answer that quicker. We probably could agree on what's good more if we thought about it. But our initial reaction is we know it's worse. We all know that it's worse when someone dies. It's worse when there's a war, and all that stuff. We all can agree it stinks, And then the other stuff we'd have to it's either so obvious what's good, and so it bores us, or we can't agree on it.
yeah, yeah. Or we think we know better. I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly. And
Yeah,
what bothers us, we're all in fear, and we want to hear it, and we get addicted to it. And we can agree quicker on it as to what we hate. Which is product of this world. That's how we set the world up so we can, it's more attractive to us.
yes, yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
That's the world that we made. Yeah.
Okay, let me keep reading.
Someone's got to keep us here.
All right. So likewise, the apparent good was the positive aspect of the fruit, which having pushed forth of itself into expression through your recognition of and obedience to its urge, was now permitting you to enjoy its happy and natural effects and to receive the outward benefits of my loving inspiration and guidance.
That's cool. Of his loving inspiration, guys. So he has guidance no matter what, but not all of it feels very loving sometimes, I guess. When we move ourselves out of the garden, that doesn't feel very loving. But clothing us might have felt loving at the time before he moves out of the garden, he clothed us.
Yeah.
So that might have felt more loving. So some different things that by the way, that doesn't mean it's loving. It doesn't mean it's unloving. It just means that it feels that way.
Yeah.
Because driving us out of the garden might have been exactly what we needed.
Yeah. I mean, well, it was exactly what we needed if we wanted to have the experience of the world.
Exactly. And it's what we did to ourselves. And so it was what we thought it's what we thought we needed, at least. It's
And
what
if we
it's
did
what we
want
wanted.
that,
It's what we wanted.
yeah. And you know how I know we wanted it? Because we
Yeah.
want it now.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, the question is why did we want it? And that's where the unfortunate comes in.
Yeah. Why do we still want it? Want it
Exactly.
more than truth?
exactly.
Why? And if you understood that why, you would stop wanting it, but
Well, people get
you know,
confused. They think if they don't want it, they think that, all right, I'm being pessimistic. I'm being a downer. I should want to be here. I should be happy here. But you can be happy here, but still see it for what it is. You can say, all right, I'm hiding here. It's an attack on God. The place is dysfunctional. It's filled with competition and attack. But I'm gonna have the best time I can. And then I'm gonna move on. I mean, what else can I do?
yeah,
Walk around all depressed that this happened and just wait till I die. I mean, that's the life, you do your best to try to get ahead, and you realize every time, and if you don't get ahead and you don't get what you want, who cares? That's the key. That's what we
yeah,
talked about last night. I think you do your best out there, you try to get things done, but you're living in a dream, so who cares if it doesn't happen?
right,
Now there's no
exactly.
stakes here. There's no stakes.
Exactly. And that's what we have to figure out. There's nothing real can be threatened and nothing
Yeah.
unreal exists. If we really understood that, there would be no question. Cindy has her hand up. Go ahead, Cindy.
Okay, really quick. I think you said that's the question, or what we still are not choosing God all the time, and kind of said like, well, why is that, or what? That's the question, and that's why Jesus wrote the Course of Miracles. I think I really do. I think that's why it came into our world, because He knows us and He knows we are questioning and we want to know, and He's given us uh, information and truth that we can take with us. Like you said, it's not the end. This book is not or this information is not the end, but it's the beginning. So anyway, I just want to throw that in.
Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just the thing about what he has to do. He has to convince us to stop making a world that stinks, it's terrible, and that's the heart that hurts us. But also to stop making a world that doesn't hurt us and that we like. And why would we want to do that? Why would you want to give up a world you love and that you have a good time in? But the world's just as unreal on both sides of the coin. So eventually we have to give up the whole thing. And that's something that's going to be very hard for us as a species. Because we're
Yes.
so trying so hard to be happy. We're trying so hard to have a good time here
Yeah.
and to enjoy the party. And at some point, we're going to have to kind of move away from that. Now, hopefully, as Ken says, we won't have to leave here until we want to. No one's getting forced out of this situation. So that's comforting.
Yeah. And I think we're going to try everything until we figure out we can never be right.
Exactly. Kind of like Solomon with his wives. Not wife with pleasure. Remember, he tried everything, and then he realized everything was stupid, in vain, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that. He tried pleasure. He tried everything. I did this. I did that. I did this. I did that. And I found out that it was all vain. It was all stupid and vanity, pride. And then you get nothing out of it in the end. So it's sort of like that. It's like there's no. So it's actually kind of cool. And then once you realize that, you can give up trying to make this world what it isn't, and then you can enjoy it. I mean, it's kind of like what I always say, that playing poker, like on Star Trek. They play poker for no money. They just play for chips. That's playing poker, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
They play poker for no money. They just play for chips. So no one really loses or wins in the traditional sense of poker, but they're still playing to win. But it's just no one really loses anything, except maybe the game. And that's how you play that's how you play at home with your friends. I mean, that's how you play board games. It's a bad board game. You want to win really badly, but who cares if you lose or win really?
Exactly. Exactly. Some people do, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some folks I'm not interested in playing board games with
Well,
because
yeah, so yeah,
it's like World War
well,
Three.
I had a comedian. I think it was a long time ago. Who was it? What's his name? And Lewis. Whatever Lewis guy. C.K. Lewis, I think is his name.
C.K.
He
Lewis,
said,
yeah.
I hate playing Monopoly with my kids. You should see what they're like. We hate each other during Monopoly. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, I got you. I got you. I'm taking money away from my kid. I'm feeling good about it. It's really funny. Monopoly really can get very hairy after, especially since it's a 5 hour game. You're playing for all day. It's about a whole day Saturday afternoon. You play Monopoly.
Oh
So,
gosh, yes. We used to sit up all night long, play Monopoly, drink Kool-Aid.
yeah.
No wonder my teeth were rotten. It was crazy. But you know what is interesting? The game of Monopoly was invented to prove, to show to people how capitalism doesn't really work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the whole purpose of the game of Monopoly
That's
was to
funny.
show you that this system that we um uh like operate under, I think is so great, really doesn't work. And if you, I mean, honestly, you're right. People will come to blows
And they,
from
they do.
Monopoly.
It's fake money. It's really real
Yeah,
to the game. You know?
it's crazy. So we don't play it at my house either anymore
No.
because it just, people have different, some people want to actually literally are interested in winning, and other people are actually interested in playing, and the two don't really mix.
No. Well, the way I play it now, though, is a shorter way of playing. Everyone starts out with houses. That's the shortest way, the shorter way of playing. So the game lasts about 2 hours at most. We did that once. That's the last time I played it. That's how we played it. Everyone starts out with a certain amount of houses, so everyone starts out with a certain amount of money, and it goes much faster. And
Oh, wow.
otherwise, it's a 7 hour game. You have to put it down and you start the next morning.
Oh gosh.
It's
Yes.
it goes on forever. It's just ridiculous. It's
Yeah,
not a
it
game.
really
It's
is.
like a whole journey, through capitalism. So
But when we were kids, we just thought that was, but we didn't have we didn't have video games or anything
oh
either.
no, of course not.
We were playing board games
That and those are
stuff.
sorry. I remember that game. The
and,
sorry,
and
the
poker.
life.
Yeah, Sorry is another one of those games where you just want to kill people from it. That's not a fun game.
Yeah.
Let me send you back to the beginning. Let me
I'm not
read all your
sorry.
progress. Not sorry at all. Who makes this stuff up?
And there's also shoots and ladders. Remember that game? Shoots and ladders.
Shoots and ladders, yeah.
Yeah.
We play a game here at the house. It's called Pandemic.
Oh, I never heard of that, but
It's really interesting. It's a global pandemic, and
right.
you are a team of medical experts and whatever that have to save the world, and so you have to work together as a team to get the cures where they need them, and it's a very it's a fun game if you win, and if you lose, then you kill everybody in the world. But
That's funny. That's hilarious.
it's a real 12 monkeys kind of thing going on
I
there.
don't hear that. I bought a games recently where it's a medicine about pills, and you act out the side effects, and
Oh,
you have to guess the pill.
that sounds interesting.
I don't remember doing it, but I had to get it. It was so weird. I had to get it. But and then all the side effects you see on TV, so you have to have some strange stuff.
You know what that reminds me of? Did you ever, I'm sure you watched Seinfeld.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, Seinfeld, when what's it, Kramer and his friend, who was a little person, and they were
Right.
actors. They went to the medical school, and they were supposed to be acting out the diseases, and
Oh, I
the
think so.
medical
I think
students were supposed to
yeah.
try to guess what the disease was.
Right.
And
I remember that. I don't remember. I have to see it again.
it's pretty
Uh,
funny.
yeah, I'm sure it is.
That is a very funny episode. But I mean, the
Uh,
whole thing is, it's all a game. So that's what he's trying to express to us here in this book is, you're here to have a good time. You're not here to be miserable. And as soon as you figure out that you're here to have a good time, then I can use you,
yeah, absolutely.
to do what you're here for.
The first thing you have to do is throw away the coin. That's the
Yes.
key. Throw away the coin, and the course does it by telling you that there's no effects here. This world's not a world of effect. So
Right.
there's no effects, there's no cause. So the world there's no cause and effect in the world because the world's not here. All cause and effect comes from within.
Yes.
You know, all cause and then and still if that and then once you realize that there's no cause, there's no effects, and even the cause from within, you're not causing anything. It's like when you're dreaming at night, you're not really causing anything because the dream's not even there. So in a sense, you're not causing anything to happen, since nothing is really happening. So you're really
Yeah.
just on your bed doing nothing but sleeping.
And
So
that's
it's
what we're
similar,
doing.
and it's sort of similar to this. We're not really doing anything at all, but we're pretending to create something that's unreal. You know, we're pretending to do something because nothing's really there. The nature of reality is not there. It's what's not there. So we're not really creating anything at all. Nothing's really suffering. Nothing's really happening. There's no cause. There's no effect here. There's just empty space that we happen to be calling and creating. And it's kind of like when you look in the clouds and you see shapes and pictures and things,
Uh-huh.
but it's not really there. Obviously, you just put it in your head. That's
Yep.
what's happening here.
Exactly. It's like a movie screen.
Right.
Just a blank screen, and then we're just projecting whatever is on there.
Exactly.
And whatever the story we make up, that's what we see, and we're like, "Oh my God, what happened? What's going on?"
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
making up gods and the stars. That's what we're doing.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. That's why you
Right.
gotta laugh, man.
Exactly. Yeah, laugh.
So let's
Laugh our
see.
way out of it. And we have 5 minutes. You want to play a song?
Sure.
All right.
You want me to play a song?
Yeah, go for it. Play a song.
Okay, I will play a song. Let's see. Gotta get all they switched around these app things up here, which I'm sure you noticed that. So I mean, it's good. Oh, computer audio. Jeez Louise, give me a break. We're changing things. Okay. All right. I don't know. Let me see. I've got all these songs here I want to listen to, but we will listen to uh I can't pick. Here we go.
Close your eyes and just pick whatever it is.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Okay, this is Daniel Namad.
All right.
Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. A higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more forward, no more backward, no more spinning around and around. My life is moving ever upward. My feet are leaving the ground. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. A higher place. life is destined. Hope for greatness. My soul has answered the call. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place.
That's a cute little
Beautiful.
song.
Beautiful piece. I like that song a lot. Nice piece. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for coming. Thanks, Lynn, of course. Thanks, Karen. Thank Ozzy, Dove, and Cindy. It was a great time. I had a blast. Everyone in the room, thanks for being here also. And will be here tomorrow at 12:30 for Anxiety to Love. And until then, God bless you, everyone. I love you and peace.
Bye, Wayne. I love you too, brother.
too.
We'll
See
see
ya.
you all
Bye-bye.
tomorrow. Some of you later this evening. So.